Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning.
From Ranchview High School, it's a cold and windy day as we have the game of the week as we start our spring schedule on ICTN. The Lady Wolves from Ranchview are hosting the Nimitz Vikings. Hi again, everyone. I'm Lance Brown. Bob Berry alongside. Yes, it is cold, ladies and gentlemen. Mucho frio is the word for it. The Nimitz Vikings coming up to bat, and everybody is dressed warm. At least the smart people are. There are some people actually seeing shorts around here. Oh, boy. Good to be young, I guess. Too dumb to know otherwise. Let's take a look at the batting orders for both these teams. First off, the Nimitz Vikings will lead things off with Sydney Peters. Valerie Shaston will hit second. Well, that's his Ranchview batting order, but they're the home team. But we're ready to go, and here's Bob Berry.
Okay, and the first pitch offered by Ahrens comes in high to Peters. Peters also will be pitching for the Nimitz Vikings. Want to know the count? As Lance told you, it is pretty cold. Got a good wind out of the north. Swings and misses at that pitch, 1-1.
The wind blowing from left field to the first base foul line, and it'll take a cannon shot for a right-handed hitter to hit one out of here tonight.
Sydney Peters lines one right to the shortstop. Hit it right on the money, but right at the shortstop, so there's one away. Well, he couldn't hit it any more sharply than Sydney did.
And here's the Viking batting order for you. Well, we will in a second. But let's see Valerie Shaston come to plate.
Valerie, right-handed batter. Ahrens on the mound for the Lady Wolves. Pitch in for a strike.
Home plate umpire tonight is James Mann. The base umpire is Richard Black. He said we want a big strike zone tonight. No one wants to stay out here a long time.
That one smashed foul down the third baseline, so the count is 0-2.
So far, Bob, the Lady Vikes are having some good rips at this young lady.
Yeah, they're up there swinging. Wind out of the north. I'm going to guess maybe 15, 20 miles an hour.
Easily.
Yeah. Let up pitch swung and it popped up, and that'll go back out of play.
Deanna Williams, the head coach in her second year. Outstanding player for Nimitz. Several years ago, went to the University of Texas and was a fine player for the Lady Longhorns.
Oh, 0-2 the count, and the pitch. Fouled away again.
Ahrens the pitcher, Sarah Hausman the catcher. She's a left-handed catcher too, as was Deanna Williams.
Exactly, yeah.
First baseman Desiree Rios, the second baseman Ashley Benjamin. The shortstop is Suman Mejia, and the third baseman is Kristen Beragine.
Again, pitch fouled back and out of play. So Shasta taking her cut. She's not being cheated up there.
They're getting some good looks at her, Bob. The success of any team in softball all depends on the girl in the circle.
Yeah, definitely. Pitchers have a tremendous advantage in this game. And the 0-2 pitch. A little soft tapper, grabbed by the shortstop. So for the second consecutive time, a Viking player hits in this case, a little looper to the shortstop. The other one was really a smash. So 2 up and 2 down and 2 putouts for the shortstop. As your watcher come right now, reach down and make the grab for the out.
She got jammed on that pitch, but when you got 2 strikes, you got to stand up there and swing. This is Allie Jones.
Allie swings and fouls it back. Well, they're not looking for walks. That's
no,
for
they
sure.
aren't. They're up there swinging the bat.
Yeah.
And Jones is hitting a cool .571 here in the early going. 16 hits and 28 trips to the plate. Didn't realize they'd played so many games so far. Had some good weather last week, but
That pitch down low for a ball. One of the few balls that Aaron has thrown thus far here in the first inning. Originally, the forecasters said we were probably going to have some pretty heavy rain, but they moderated that forecast as the day went by. Here's a shot to right center field, and that's in for a base hit and overrun by the center fielder, and the runner going standing up with a two-bagger. So you can see this young lady, why she's hitting so well, as advertised. She lives up to her reputation and drills a double.
yep, this is her third double of the year. She gets a pitch out over the plate. She gets to extend those arms, hit it hard out there, and overrun a little bit that time by the center fielder. That is Mackenzie Gregory. And this is Julia Rogers, the catcher.
Julia, the cleanup batter, watches one go down low for a ball.
Now, the interesting thing here is a left-handed catcher would be trying to make a throw to third base with a right-handed hitter, especially, too. You rarely see a left-handed catcher.
That pitch just a little low for a ball, 1-1. 1 ball, 1 strike, 2 out, runner down at second base. Top of the first inning, we are scoreless, but Nimitz trying to break the ice right now. Pitch swung and a missed. 1-2 the count.
Didn't the White Sox have a left-handed catcher maybe about 30 years ago?
I don't know, a guy who played for Pittsburgh by the name of Dale Long caught a few games, and he was a left-hander. Pitch inside, well, on the inside corner.
Never a regular catcher that I can think of.
Yeah. I don't imagine there are many gloves for left-handed throwing catchers. Pitch foul back.
Actually, my neighbor had one. He was a left-handed
Really?
catcher, yeah. And throughout his growing up.
Full count to the batter. Runner down at second base. Aarons works very quickly and got her on strikes. So for the Nimitz Vikings in the top of the first inning, they get 1 base hit, leave 1 runner stranded, and we move to the bottom of the first, and we'll see what the Wolves can do here as they come up to bat for the first time.
We showed it to you just a minute ago, but let's toss in that batting order again for the Ranchview Wolves, and we'll go over that. The pitcher, Liz Aarons, will lead things off. Tori Lawrence will hit second. Hausman hitting third. Gregory in the cleanup spot, the center fielder. Ashley Benjamin will hit fifth. Barragine will be hitting in the number 6 spot, Kirsten. Alyssa Glenn will be hitting in the number 7 position. Meta, the shortstop, hitting in the 8th position. And Desiree Rios will bat 9th. And there you see Sydney Peters trying to get that hand warm.
Yeah, she's blowing on that right hand of hers. Something that Aarons did not do in the top of the first inning.
The catcher for the Vikings, her battery mate, will be Julia Rogers. And here's the defense. Lindsay Smart at first. Shasted will be the second baseman. Gomez the shortstop. And at third base will be Allie Jones. In left field, Zoe Hernandez. Alondra Rodriguez, the center fielder. And Jordan Cox will be the right fielder. Jordan is the flex player in this. Destiny Valdez will be hitting for the Vikings in the number 7 position today.
They have the overhead lights on before the game even started. They really haven't taken that much effect, though, but obviously as the day progresses, they will. This game started at about 5:30, and we should tell you that it's being taped on the late afternoon of February the 25th. Lance, get ready, just 10 months away from Christmas. Got your Christmas list yet? Always looking ahead. Peter's first pitch taken up high for a ball.
No, if you being a wise guy, I'll take you off of it.
Me, a wise guy? Whoa.
Yeah.
Perish the thought. Pitcher versus pitcher. Aarons watches that one inside for a ball. Kind of interesting in that both these teams have their pitchers as leadoff batters. Don't see that too often.
Well, they're generally the best, players out there.
There's a hot shot by the third baseman out in left field for a base hit. So Aarons picks up the initial base hit for her team. Tori Lawrence, the left fielder, will come up, and we have a courtesy runner for Aarons down at first base.
That's Destiny Mateo, the courtesy runner. The catcher and pitcher in softball are allowed courtesy runners.
Lawrence, the left fielder, right-handed batter, shows bunt and does. Third baseman makes the play, so very nicely done.
Yeah, well executed all the way around.
Good bunt and good defensive play by the third
Up
sacker.
next, number 11.
The courtesy runner down at second base now. And Sarah Hausman will come up. She's the first left-handed batter we've seen in tonight's game. Peters, through the full windup, comes in with the fastball for a strike. Now the pitch to Hausman, up high for a ball, 1-1. Again, we'll remind you in softball, the base runner cannot leave the base until after the ball has left the pitcher's hands. And the pitch on the way. In for a strike, 1-2.
Peters wearing the mask out there on the mound, the pitcher. That ball gets back to you fast. I speak from experience.
That one slapped foul. She was late on the swing and fouled it down the third baseline.
All the guys behind the fence there, they were ducking. The ball was 8 feet over their heads.
Peters looking in now, and here she goes through the windup. That's up high for a ball. 2-2 the count. Have a very nice scoreboard here at Ranchview. One of the interesting things I think about the scoreboard is that they have the time, not the time of the day, but it started with 75 minutes, pitch up high for a ball. Now that does not have anything to do with this game that we're doing right now, but I have to believe they have some sort of recreational softball that they play here, where they have a time limit of about 75 minutes.
Either that or that's just how the scoreboards for softball come.
Here's a hot shot to the shortstop. Nice stop, high throw, but first baseman's able to contain it, and they're 2 down.
Nice play by the shortstop that time. Gomez going over, has a strong arm. Of course, you need that at shortstop. And this is a nice play here. Looks the runner back to second.
The ball was well hit, too.
It was.
So here is Mackenzie Gregory. Watches that first pitch just a little bit low, ball 1. Peters now ready for her next delivery, and that's in for a strike, 1-1. As luck would have it, this is our first softball game of the spring season, although it's not spring yet. But we call this the spring season with softball and baseball. And generally speaking, we do the games at one of the Irving schools, whether it be Nimitz. There's a high fly ball to center field. Center fielder waiting for it and drops the ball.
Ay, caramba.
And so Ranchview will take advantage of that miscue by the center fielder. And it's a 1-0 ball game. Needless to say, the run definitely unearned. The ball was hit well, no doubt about it. But the center fielder had more than enough time to make the play, and she didn't.
Yeah, Alondra Rodriguez just simply didn't look it into her glove, and we'll watch it one more time here. Well, we'll do it in a second. We'll go back to live action as the
Ashley Benjamin, the batter. So the courtesy runner scores, and Ranchview leads it 1-0. Benjamin tried to hold up, but her swing went through, and that's a strike. Anyway, the point I was trying to make is if we were doing a game, say if we were doing this game right now at Nimitz, we'd be in a press box, sheltered somewhat from the wind. But that's not the case here. We're just pretty close to the backstop here. And we are dressed accordingly.
that is it.
Kind of bundled up. 1-1 the count to the batter. That's done low for ball, 2-1.
Here's the fly ball once again. The air made a deep hit fly ball too into this wind, and clank. Well, it happens.
Pitch swung and a miss. That was a good pitch and a nice swing. And the power has just gone off on the scoreboard for some reason.
2-2 the count.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. And the Wolves trying to score their second run of the inning.
Number 2 at the plate with a runner on second.
And the runner steals third base. So Gregory with the stolen base.
May have caught the Vikings napping here. Good hustle. Good steal by Gregory.
High fly ball to left field. It's playable, and it is caught. The side's retired. Well, these gals have been able to put the bat on the ball, no doubt about it. Ranchview scores 1 run in the bottom of the first inning, and they lead 1-0 as we go to the top of the second. Talking about stealing third base, there was an interesting article in a baseball publication called Baseball America, where a man who's been a baseball coach for many times on the collegiate level and teaches base running in his off time to college players and high school players, he said he thinks that a lot of major league teams don't take advantage of the fact of stealing third base. His contention is stealing third base is a lot easier than it is to steal second.
I've heard some people say that.
Yeah. Now, his thinking is that basically nobody holds you close to second base, so you can get a relatively good lead. Whereas if you're at first base, you're fairly well contained. And then even though the throw down to third base is shorter than it would be to second, he feels that the lead that you get at second base negates the advantage of the shorter throw.
And there you saw how we're dressed up for this game. I'm dressed up in a stock. Definitely could not go into a bank right now.
Haven't worn this outfit since I went trick-or-treating several years ago.
The unknown sportscaster. Probably some people would think unheard would be better, but hey, somebody got to do it.
So we'll start off with the top of the second inning.
But I've heard that some people say the stealing third is easier.
Easier,
but teams don't like to do that because you're taking a runner potentially out of scoring position if you get thrown out doing it.
Yes. Zoe Hernandez will be leading things off for the Vikings here in the top of the second inning.
It'll be Hernandez, Smart, and Valdez.
So Aarons with the 1-run lead comes in with the first pitch, fly ball to center field. Center fielder runs up, makes the grab, and there's one away. Let's bring up Lindsey Smart for the Vikes. The coach who was talking about stealing third base, his son plays Major League Baseball, Brian Roberts, who recently signed up to play for the Yankees. Second baseman, played quite a few years for the Baltimore Orioles, and has had a really nice career.
Yeah.
Went about 5 straight years with 50 or more doubles. Very effective, but injuries has kind of hampered him recently. Here's a pitch swung and fouled, and that'll go back out of play.
Boy, and look at all the Rangers injuries here in the early going.
Oh, yeah, really.
My goodness. That's all the unknown factors that go into the season, and you don't plan for it, but
no one does.
You got to have people ready to do it, to take over.
A pitch outside for a ball.
Holland rips up his knee in a freak accident at home. Some people say he was playing hockey. Some disagreements around there.
Pitch foul back. Well, you've had, in the history of Major League Baseball, you've had all kinds of unusual accidents that have taken players out. I can't remember who the guy was. A couple of years ago, opened up his hand while slicing some bread. Missed about 20 games.
It was Odeby McDowell, Scott Snyder, our producer, telling us. There was my Dick Allen, when he was with the St. Louis Cardinals, was having a tremendous year. He was swinging a miss there and 1 out. Two outs. And at any rate, Allen, sometime in August, was trying to push start a car, and he put his hand through the glass on the taillight and ripped up his hand and couldn't play the rest of the year.
Destiny Valdez, the batter.
As I understand, he spent most of the rest of the season going to Fairmount Park, playing the Ponies. And the Cardinals promptly traded him.
Pitch swung and a missed. A ball and a strike. As I recall, he was a good hitter, but a very moody player.
Oh, yeah. Allen was a tremendously powerful hitter who swung a 40-ounce bat.
Here's a line shot to center field. The center fielder runs in, makes the grab, and the side is retired. So 2 of the Lady Vikings hit the ball well, but both of them had the misfortune of hitting it out where the center fielder can make the grab. So 3 up and 3 down, and after 1.5 innings of play, the Lady Wolves over the Lady Vikes by a count of 1-0.
So you're still got that strong wind blowing, boy.
Oh, yes. It's going to be around for a while, that's for sure.
Well, no, actually, it's supposed to be in the 70s by Thursday. But it ain't going to help us tonight, obviously. I remember former Viking coach Mike Dyson, no matter what the weather,
always in shorts.
Would always wear shorts and would always wear that pullover windbreaker. No matter what, it could be 100 degrees and he'd still wear the pullover windbreaker too. It was the same exact uniform he wore all the time. Mike had a heck of a career here as the head coach of the Lady Vikings.
Kirsten Burgundy, the batter. Tall right-handed hitter. And she smashes it by the third baseman into left field.
Deja vu.
Man, I'm telling you, these scouts don't mind swinging the bat. Here's a bad throw from the left fielder. The ball gets away from the second baseman. Runner going all the way to third base, and she's in there. So a single and a 2-base throwing error. And you have the leadoff hitter down at third base.
That's the second really bad throw so far by the Rangers left fielder Zoe Hernandez. She made a poor one before, but fortunately for them, it was flagged down. This one wasn't. It got away. As you see the rip in the left field. Now watch Hernandez just make a plain bad throw.
Well, she didn't follow through on the throw. She just threw it and didn't put much of her body into it, and the ball just carried away.
Yep.
So you got a runner down at third base, and Alicia Ginn is the batter. Takes that first pitch in a little tight, ball 1.
They called it a strike. They appealed. They thought Ginn
went around, and apparently she did.
Or went far enough, let's put it that way.
Well, the home plate umpire didn't see it, but the base umpire had a better view of it that time.
Yep.
So the count is 0-1. Here is a bunt. Here's the runner coming to third. And here's the pitcher just throwing the ball away to the backstop. Still another error, and it's a 2-0 ball game.
Wow.
Now, Peters this time, she had plenty of time to make the throw. She could have underhanded that ball, but she was very close to the catcher and just fired the ball as hard as she could.
So what do you think, fielder's choice or an error?
Well, it's definitely an error. It's a sacrifice as far as the batter is concerned. And it's a throwing error by the pitcher. See, she just guns that ball and it just takes off.
Viking defense has been a little shaky here in the first 2 innings.
Well, if you can say that you've made 3 errors and only 3 outs have been recorded thus far, that is pretty shaky, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. And as I said earlier, they had that other bad throw, but fortunately it didn't cost them.
Now batting for the Wolves, number 13, Suman Mehta.
Suma Mehta is the batter. The Wolves now leading 2-0.
Doing a little repair on the third base placement there. Digging some dirt out of the little hole there.
Mehta wearing number 13. Takes that pitch in for a strike. Owens foul back out of play.
Bob, everybody up here tonight swinging the bat.
Yeah. Maybe it's just their style, the way they play, or maybe they figure it's cold and I want to get up, either get on base as quickly as possible or go back into the dugout as quickly as possible. Pitch way outside for a ball. Peters has a very difficult chore here. He's got to totally forget the throwing error that she made. Pitch swung and a miss. And down goes the batter. So Peters records that strikeout.
Can't lay off that high fastball.
Up next,
One down, that brings up Desiree Rios.
Rios bats 9th in the order. Takes that first pitch for a ball.
Good decision by the catcher. Threw to the shortstop.
Runner down at second base trying to draw a throw, hoping that they throw behind him to second base, and then she just cruised into third. But as Lance said, it was played very well by the catcher.
The only better play is to run right at the runner. Force them to commit themselves.
Now that pitch in here is an attempt at a steal, and this time they got her. She's out trying to steal third base.
Yeah, that wasn't close. Nice peg that time by Rogers. Good tag. And it isn't close.
So the Wolves pick up a run. Now nobody on base, and this pitch swung and a miss.
Yeah, that's one of these things probably, Bob, down here at the bottom of the lineup, they want to try to get the runner going and hopefully steal a base here now and then and maybe steal a run.
That's foul back out of play.
Generally, though, in softball, you have to play small ball, especially if it's the teams have good pitching.
Ground ball back to the pitcher. Throws the first, and the side is retired. But again, the Wolves dent the scoring column, picking up a run, and they lead 2-0 at the end of 2. We'll be back in a moment. Starting the top of the third inning, the Vikings find themselves on the short order of a 2-0 ball game. Alondra Rodriguez will be leading things off for the Lady Vikings. Boy, this gal's got a head of hair on her all day. It's almost down to her waist. That first pitch up high for a ball. We were talking about the fact that we have a left-handed throwing catcher here. Not to be outdone, the Lady Wolves have a left-handed throwing second baseman. Have a profusion of lefties here. Pitch foul back to the screen, 1-1.
I remember Irving, I don't know, maybe about 6-7 years ago, had a left-handed throwing second baseman too. She's a very fine player. I think she transferred to Frisco. But she was one of the best players I've ever seen.
Pitch swung and a miss, strike two. If we're thinking about the same girl, I believe she won a scholarship to a 1A school.
I wouldn't be at all surprised.
Yeah,
she was an outstanding player.
She was very fast.
Right.
Left-handed hitter, if I remember. I think so, yeah. And the pitch. Here's the little number, cut off by the third baseman, makes the throw, very nicely done, and there's one away.
Now batting number 2, Natalie Gomez.
Natalie Gamis is the batter. Goes after that first pitch and bounces it foul down the first baseline. Looking at the statistics for the Nimitz Vikings, this young lady has hit 3 home runs so far this season. Pops that one up. And the second baseman drops it.
Oops.
Really?
E4. And it's just one of those deals here as Benjamin called everybody off and couldn't have enough people, got enough gloves around her, didn't he?
Sydney Peters swings and misses, and Gamma steals second base. Boy, she was off quickly. So Gamma's down at second. Peters the batter with an 0-1 count. Here's a bunt attempt. It's foul. 0-2 the count.
With the speed of Gomez, I wouldn't be at all surprised to see her trying to steal third either, with a left-handed catcher and a right-handed hitter up there. Of course, again, as Bob said, though, they can't leave the base, unlike baseball where you can get a huge lead at second. Not the case here.
That pitch sails up high for a ball, 1-2. Aarons is a very fast worker. And with the weather as it is tonight, I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, well, I think we all are.
Yeah. And Peters goes down swinging. Strikeout number 3 for the Lady Wolf pitcher. Here's Valerie Shaston. That's driven foul down the third baseline.
Valerie came into the ballgame hitting 200, 5 hits and 25 trips to the plate.
Of all the sports, I don't think that any one sport is more prone to getting into statistics
Oh, not
than
even close.
baseball or softball. You know?
No, not even
Yeah.
close.
And then it seems like in baseball about every 5 years, the saber mathematicians come up with some new way to rate ball players.
Oh, yeah.
You know, incredible. Line foul into the dugout.
You go to baseballreference.com, Bob, and they have statistics broken down into pages and pages for just one player. I mean, it's not just, standard things, but it's all these other things, WAR, and all kinds of stuff that I really don't pay attention to.
That's popped out of play. The left-handed throwing catcher for Ranchview also wears glasses. Reminds me of many years ago a player by the name of Clint Courtney, who was a catcher in the major leagues who wore glasses. That pitch up high for a ball. This was before all the LASIK surgery and what have you,
Right.
that I'm sure many players have undergone. Little tapper, second baseman, not be able to handle this one. Gambus on the way to the plate, she'll score. And it's a 2-1 ball game. And here's a throw going by the catcher. And down to second base goes Shastid. So Shastid drives in a run and then advances on the bad throw by the center fielder. So another error for the Lady Wolves, and it's a 2-1 ball game.
Up next, number 11, Allie Jones.
Well, the errors are going to come back to haunt you, and this is the case here. The little fly ball that plops in, and you didn't see the throw after that, as you see Gamma's coming to score. RBI, though, for Shastid.
Allie Jones, the batter. The funny thing with the advancement of all the figures in baseball, Lance, I can remember a long time ago, so long ago that the Dodgers played in Brooklyn, that they hired a statistician, and it was just unheard of. Pitch swung and lifted out to center field, and the center fielder makes the grab, and the side is retired. But anyway, they hired a statistician. Alan Roth was his name, and he had all kinds of facts and figures on
Score update in the middle of
the hitters in Major League Baseball, how they did on the first pitch, swing, not swing, hit the ball. And he, in a way, helped the Dodgers win a couple of games when they sent up pinch hitters who had good success against certain pitchers.
Well, Alan Roth was, as you said, he was really one of the giants as far as scorekeeping and statistics in baseball history. For many years, the statistician for NBC Sports, the game of the week.
Everyone, of course, in athletics is always looking for an edge. And for a while, I guess the Dodgers felt that, in a sense, it gave them something of an edge.
And I've never had the chance to ask you, Bob, have you seen the movie 42?
Yes.
Your thoughts being a Brooklyn Dodger fan?
Not bad. Not bad.
number 1,
One of the things I look for in a baseball movie is the ability of the actor to look like an athlete. Because baseball players, you work for years and years developing emotion and stuff like that, and some of them have just looked awful, the actors.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But the young man who
Did it,
portrayed
yeah.
Robinson, I thought, and I never saw Robinson play live, you did, but it seems to me he got him pretty much dead on as far as his hitting style and his running style.
Yes. Yeah, I don't remember the name of the actor who portrayed Jackie Robinson, but you could tell that he had an athletic build.
Oh, yeah.
This guy wasn't a couch potato.
No, he was buffed out. He was not John Goodman or William Bendix playing Babe Ruth.
Exactly.
And those guys were, and I love John Goodman, one of the really fine actors who's about my age, but John was just terrible playing Babe Ruth. Mostly because Ruth was left-handed and Goodman was right-handed, so they had him out on the mound trying to throw left-handed. It just looked awful.
Yeah.
I mean, it's hard enough to look like a pro athlete when you're doing it with your natural hand.
Aaron Strauss went down the left field line, hooking and curving foul.
Boy, she
Boy,
hit
this
that
gal
one.
can hit,
Whoa.
yeah. She's not cheated with her swings.
No.
Well, there have been a lot of baseball movies, but perhaps the one as far as a person miserably cast as a pitcher was Ray Milland in a movie called It Happens Every Spring. Oh, it was, well, I mean, he was a good actor and a nice guy, but playing a Major League Baseball player, forget it. Pitch up high for a ball.
Well, there's so many of those, though, too. I mean, as I said, William Bendix was awful.
Yeah.
In the movie Pride of the Yankees, Lou Gehrig, Gary Cooper, we'll tell you in a moment.
That one's fouled back.
Gary Cooper was a natural right-handed hitter. There you go.
Whoops.
There you go, Bob.
Made it on the second try.
Ball bounced back here.
Hey, it's the first time we've ever gotten a ball. You know that?
Yeah, you're right.
There's a little looper charged by the second baseman who makes the play, and there's one away.
But getting back to Gary Cooper, who played Lou Gehrig,
Up next,
what they did is they put the jersey on him backwards. They had him bat right-handed and run to third base, and they just reversed the film.
Exactly, yeah. Yeah. Pitch swung and a missed. The batter is Torrey Lawrence. We have one out here in the bottom of the third inning. Ranchview and Nimitz. Ranchview with a 2-1 lead right now. Peters on the mound delivers. And inside for a ball.
I'll tell you some actors who really looked the part. Kevin Costner. He's played in 3 baseball movies.
Yeah.
He played a catcher in Bull Durham. Looked the part. Was wonderfully fluid.
Pitch in for a strike.
And I forget the name of the movie where he played a pitcher at the end of his career, threw a perfect game in his last game, but he looked like a pitcher. And another guy is Tom Selleck, who played Mr. Baseball.
Ground ball to the third baseman, takes it on the second hop, guns the first, throw over to first, and they're 2 down.
Allie Jones has made some nice plays at third base so far.
Yes, she has. They've kept her busy.
Selleck, though, played a baseball player in the major leagues at the end of his career who got sent to Japan. But Selleck, who was a very good player in his own right, and he used to go to Tiger Stadium every now and then, take batting practice, and he would
put
pop
them in
some.
the stands.
Yeah, he would pop some in the stands.
Yeah. Pitch up high for a ball. This is Hausman, the batter.
Sarah grounded to short her first time up.
Hit the ball well.
She did.
Runs up on that pitch, and it's outside for a ball.
Unusual for a lot of players. She stands way back in the batter's box, where most of them stand up. Now she's running up on it, though.
And sends still another foul ball back into the stands.
Many right-handed hitters, natural right-handed hitters, have shifted to left-handed just to slap the ball and be 2 steps closer to first base, especially if they have good speed.
Runs up on it again, and it's outside for a ball. Now Peters with the delivery. Here's a little tap. Third baseman charges, makes the play. Very nicely done.
So Allie Jones has made some very fine plays here tonight at the third base position for Lady Vikings, and it is a 2-1 ball game here as we head to the bottom half of the third inning.
Top of the fourth, actually.
Actually, you're right.
Well, 3 up and 3 down for the Lady Wolves in the bottom of the third inning.
A cold night like tonight, we all kind of appreciate that.
Yes, yeah.
Soccer's coming up next week. this is soccer weather, but who knows what it's going to be like weather-wise. But, of course, that'll be at Irving School Stadium where we're in the press box, but I won't be there.
And R.L. Turner, let's see, I believe they are the visiting team, if memory serves me correctly. Yep. First time we will see them playing soccer on ICTN.
And there you see some of the folks here, the smart ones all bundled up.
Well, this is bundling weather, that's for sure.
I see the guy who was just wearing shorts and a T-shirt's left.
Yeah, he went into the school to thaw out.
Well, it's 51 degrees when we arrived here with a strong wind. I'm assuming it's in the 40s by now. Oh, he's still there. At least he's got a heavier jacket on now. But wearing the shorts, sun. What was going through your mind this morning?
Well, probably his legs are frozen, so he can't feel it anyway. Now that is.
That's why I'm wearing a blanket, yes.
Game has moved along at a rather rapid pace. Gals aren't, in fact, I don't believe we've had a walk so far. I have to look at the scorecard.
No, we haven't.
Haven't had any walks.
Leading off the innings for the Lady Wolves, number 9, Julia Rogers.
Julia Rogers, the cleanup hitter, will start things off for the Vikings here in the top of the 4th inning.
Julia struck out her first time up, came into the ball game hitting .250, has a home run, and 4 runs driven in.
And takes that pitch off the outside corner for a ball.
Another guy who looked like a natural player in the movies, Bob, was Charlie Sheen in the movies Major League, in Major League 2. Played the wild thing. He played kind of typecast there.
No,
but
really.
He looked like a pitcher, though. Here you go, Bob.
Popped up, and the catcher can't quite make the play.
In fact, Sheen said some people came up to him, said, "Wow, you're really good." He says, "How much have you ever pitched?" You know, he says, "I'm an actor." He says, "There's a reason why I'm an actor and not a player." He says, "I can maybe hit 60, 70 miles an hour throwing a fastball. In the movies, they can make me look like I'm throwing 100. Although the guy who played the catcher, Tom Berenger, did not look like a major league player. Hell of an actor, but
The 1-2 pitch swung and it popped up again. Catcher waits and can't hold on to it.
base hit.
No, error.
You think so?
Oh, of course. Yeah.
She got turned around there, and
Well, whose fault is that?
Up next, number 7, left fielder Zoe Hernandez.
Should the ball have been caught? Yes.
yes, yeah.
Yeah.
So Rogers is on with a base hit to lead things off.
Actually, Rogers on with an error.
Well, that's right.
And Zoe Hernandez will be the batter. Now we've had 5 miscues in this game, 3 by the Vikings. This was the second
And a
by the Lady Wolves.
and a courtesy runner for 2 down at first. Don't have the number 4 right now, but
Hernandez punts. Good
Good one.
bunt, yeah. And they make the play. Third baseman over to the second baseman who made the putout. And there's one away, but a very nice sacrifice bunt that time by Hernandez. It'll bring up Lindsey Smart.
Now batting number 17, Lindsey Smart.
Lindsay struck out her first time. Deanna giving the home run sign there. Hit one out.
There's a little loop pop fly. The shortstop makes the grab, and they're 2 out.
Deanna hit one of the most memorable home runs in Nimitz history that we had here on ICTN in a playoff game. I think it was in Grapevine or somewhere up there. And they were playing Richland. It was an extra inning ball. I think it was the 13th inning, and she hit a 3-run homer to win the game. One of the really fine moments we've ever had here on ICTN.
Destiny Valdez takes that first pitch inside for a ball. That went up high, ball 2. Pitch in for a strike. Yeah, we've had, over the course of 31 years in ICTN, we've had a lot of memorable highlights, and then we've had some things that were absolutely tragic.
Well, yeah, we've had some bad ones, haven't we?
Oh, I was thinking of the young man who died playing a baseball game. Ground ball to the shortstop. Just did make the play, and the side is retired.
That must have been before me.
Yeah, he, if memory serves me correctly, he hit a triple and was down at third base, and then when the inning didn't score, went into the dugout and just collapsed in the dugout, and they brought an ambulance in and carried him out to the hospital, and he was dead.
My goodness.
Yeah, and we just ended that broadcast right then and there. I mean,
well, that was that was before me, but we've had obviously that was the worst moment.
Very definitely, yeah.
And there's
definitely.
a picture of us here. Bob standing. I'm all bundled up. Is the guy wearing the ski mask here? Yes, it is Frio out here, folks.
We're kind of lucky, though. We haven't had any precipitation.
Yeah.
That would have really made it tough. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
Can you imagine drizzle all night long?
Yeah.
First off, it makes it impossible to keep score.
Keep scoring, exactly. To the bottom of the fourth we go in a 2-1 ball game. Bob Barry along with Lance Brown coming your way on ICTN. The game being played here at Ranchview High School.
Mackenzie Gregory, Ashley Benjamin.
Gregory the batter.
Right. I got thrown because the announcer said Ashley Benjamin.
Well, this is one of these announcers who likes to think that he's professional by screaming his lungs out the way they do at the basketball games.
Yeah.
Want to know the count. Obviously has never heard the adage, silence is golden. The 1-0 pitch. Inside, 2-0. Good fastball, but did not find the strike zone. 2-0 the count.
And this coming from the man who was the first public address announcer at the old Arlington Stadium when the Rangers came to town.
Right, yeah. Long time. Many moons ago, that's for sure. 2-0 pitch, ground ball in left field, base hit.
Another leadoff base hit for Ranchview.
And now going to second base as the ball gets by the left fielder. The center fielder falls down, and here's the runner coming to the plate, and she scores. So a single and a 3-base error.
Wow, another error that's cost the Vikings dearly. Yeah, Zoe Hernandez in left field has had her problems tonight.
Now batting number 2, second base.
Let's watch the replay one more time here. Simple little ground ball, and she just didn't get the wicket down in time. And it goes all the way to the wall, and Gregory circles the bases, and here comes Hernandez. They've seen enough of her in left field. You know, not singling her out, but she's just having a bad game.
Yeah. And the center fielder who backed it up lost her balance as she was throwing the ball in. It looked like something out of a Three Stooges movie. It'll happen, though. You know, you're trying your best, and then things just don't go too well.
Hey, look, anybody who's played this game has made errors, and, you know, I am certainly not one to throw the first stone.
No, not at all. Hausman takes the pitch inside for a ball. That is the fourth fielding miscue by the Lady Vikings tonight.
And Hernandez has had several of them. It's been a tough night for him. Now home plate umpire James Mann goes over to talk to Deanna Williams. I think they're questioning whether she went around or not. They're calling ball 2 on that.
This one popped up and just eludes the catcher. Didn't get up high enough to give her some time to get under that ball.
Rogers picked up the ball and just kind of slammed it into the pitcher's hand that time. She probably wishes she'd have gotten that one. Came close.
1-1 the count. Again, foul back. Oh, you've seen a lot of these fouls, that's for sure. Well, spring training underway. The major league teams will start playing interleague activity. Should be kind of interesting this year.
Always is.
Yeah. Another line shot. The left fielder makes the grab. That ball was hooking, and she did a nice job to grab it. Kristen Bergen will be the batter.
Now batting number 9, Kirsten Marley.
Try to hold up on that swing, but went around, strike one. The 0-1 pitch on her way. Wow, whoa.
You think she was a little ahead of that?
Yeah, really. That was a low bridge for everybody. Ranchview players in their dugout there, all ducking.
Yeah, and they're behind the screen.
Yeah, exactly.
It was hit so hard it might have gone through the screen. Now we're having the first base umpire come out and talk to the coach here, and I think telling him to get the girls behind the screen a little better. I don't know.
Could be.
Because it looked like they were signaling that before.
Yeah, and that's exactly what she's telling them.
Sharon Ashai is the coach, and she's telling them, hey, let's move on down.
Let up pitch, way up high. Well, you have to be alert when you're out there on the field.
Oh, yeah.
Just a couple of years ago, first base coach was hit by a ball and killed in the minor leagues. Pitch outside for a ball. I'll tell you, with the way all these bats are breaking in Major League Baseball, it's kind of fortuitous that basically no one has really been hurt with a bat flying.
Into the dugouts, yeah. Or a hard line drive.
Back to the pitcher or what have you.
Many years ago, I was at the Rangers game with the former owner of the team, George Bush, who, of course, did some good things in politics. Wow, she's getting some great cuts
Yeah,
there.
really driving the ball.
But, you know, I said, here's the deal. You got $1 million players sitting on the bench, and there's no protection for them. I mean, he says, well, they got to get out of the way. Well, yeah, that'd be the ideal thing. But
easier said than done.
You've got millions invested in them. You've got an idea to put up a fence. And now they have, by the way. Not because I said it.
Yeah. It just makes sense when
Sure.
you think about it. Yeah.
But, it you know, it's just the way it was always done. Boy,
That
this
pitch,
gal's making them work, isn't she?
Pitch foul down.
Kristen
The
gets
first
some great
base line.
cuts.
Yeah, she's not being cheated on her swings.
No,
that's for
she's
sure.
not. Well, she got a base hit her first time up. This gal knows what to do with that bat. Love the way she swings it.
That pitch inside. Close.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that's going to happen in Major League Baseball, not this year, but next year, going to be a tremendous change when you go to the ballpark next year, security-wise. And the pitch. Fouled it back again. Everyone's going to have to go through scanning.
Oh, yeah. It was bound to happen.
Yeah.
It's just the way society is. And
I have no problem with that whatsoever. I think it's a good idea. Better safe than sorry. And again, she fouls it back.
Must have thrown at least 10 pitches, don't you think? This is a good battle going on.
Yes, it is.
Between Kirsten and Peters.
1 out, 1 run in. Ranchview in front of Nimitz by a count of 3-1. Pops it up. Gamis goes back and makes the play.
But that was a good battle to watch.
Sure was. Alicia Ginn will be the next batter. They're 2 down here in the bottom of the 4th inning. I think this is just the second time on ICTN that we have done a softball game here at Ranchview. We did a game several years ago. Pitch inside for a ball. Ranchview overwhelmed the team they played, and the team, a Dallas team, one of the Dallas high schools, the youngsters really did not know the fundamentals of the game. It was kind of really embarrassing to watch them play. Pitch inside for a ball, and then when you see something like that, you realize the skill that it takes to play at the level of this game we're watching right now. You know, you got a lot of good-looking athletes out there.
Well, you know, all these girls have been playing for 10, 12 years. I mean, so
3-0 the count.
It's hard just to walk off and play it for the first time in a varsity level. I mean, and that's apparently what happened when they played Roosevelt.
Yeah. .30 pitch in for a strike. For some reason, there are anomalies in baseball, and one of them is when a batter has a 3-0 count and takes a pitch, they call it the automatic strike. There is no such thing. I don't know why they call it automatic, but they do.
Well, he's automatically taking is what they. Oh, no.
The shortstop throws the ball into the screen, and the runner gone to second base, and she's out. So an error by the shortstop, and then the base runner is cut down trying to advance to second base. Wow. Error number 5 for the Lady Vikings.
Here you see this is the bad throw, but fortunately it takes a hop right back to the first baseman and a good peg by Lindsay Smart.
Yeah.
That's putting the Leche on the porch here.
That it is. Ranchview scores 1 run in the bottom of the 4th. They lead 3-1, and we'll be back in a moment. So we'll start off the top of the 5th inning for the Lady Vikings. Alondro Rodriguez will be the batter. It's a little tapper wide of third base, but the third baseman makes the play and got her.
Nice play.
Yeah, definitely. We've seen some really good defensive play here by some of these infielders.
Up next, number 2, Natalie Gamas.
Natalie Gamis will be coming up now. It's a fly ball to right center field. Center fielder coming over and making the grab. So quickly, 2 up and 2 away.
Well, I'm all for first ball swinging here. First ball hitting, even better.
That takes us to the top of the batting order. And the pitcher, Miss Peters, up there.
Nice smile there on McKenzie.
Ground ball by the third baseman down the left field line. Peters rounding first, and she'll hold up with a single. That is just the third base hit for the Lady Vikings in tonight's game.
Now at the plate, number 12, Valerie Shasted.
Valerie Shasted will be coming up.
Valerie drove home the first run, the only run of the Vikings, a couple innings ago.
There's a little looper down the left field line. It falls in for a base hit. So you have the tying runs on with 2 away. A little bloop single for Shasted, and that'll bring up Allie Jones. Allie has the only extra base hit for Nimitz. She doubled in the first inning.
They'd like one of those right here.
Oh, yeah. Yes, they would. There's a hot shot base hit in the left field. Peters on her way to the plate will score. And goes to second base, holding the runner there, the base runner there. And it's a 3-2 ball game. So 3 consecutive singles. And we now have ourselves a 3-2 ball game. As you watch the replay right here. They're hitting the ball sharply.
Deanna running Peters all the way in.
And Julia Rogers is the batter. That pitch in for a strike.
Interesting too, Bob, that they chose to leave Peters out there to run. Some teams prefer to have their pitcher not run.
That's a good point, yeah. That one's fouled back, and it's 0-2. So quickly, the pitcher, Aarons, is out in front of the count, 0-2.
But obviously, Peters has some wheels, and she used them to good advantage there.
Fly ball, left center field. The left fielder over and makes the grab, and the side is retired. So Rogers hit it well, but the left fielder was able to cruise over and make the putout. But the Vikings score 1 in the top of the 5th inning. And after 4.5 innings of play, it's Ranchview 3 and the Vikings 2. See the Lady Wolves getting together there.
And I think now is the time to talk about the good folk who
Well, our sponsor is Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning, the charter sponsor of the Irving Game of the Week. And basically, the Stavely organization has been with us since the inception of these broadcasts. That goes all the way back to September of 1983. I don't know what you were doing in September of 1983, but I know our first game, sponsored by the Stavely people, high school football game that ended in a 7-7 tie, Colleen and MacArthur, 31 years ago. Wow. Anyway, the Stavely people have been with us ever since. And we certainly appreciate their participation, as well as, obviously, it goes without saying, but I'll say it, their loyalty. So to the bottom of the 5th inning we go. Suman Mehta will be leading things off for the Lady Wolves, as you see the Ranchview head coach right there. Peters on the mound. Her team down by 1, 3-2. That fastball fouled back off the chest protector of the umpire. Strike 1. Good thing they have those chest protectors, too. Owen won the count to Mehta. She's been up once and went down on strikes. Pitch foul back, strike 2. There you see our situation, 3-2 Ranchview here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Game scheduled for 7 innings of play. Fastball stays high and away for a ball, 1-2.
And I don't think there's a person here who is hoping for an extra inning game.
No, I don't think so. That's taken for called strike 3.
That's the first call out.
Yeah.
Strike 3 in this ball game.
So for the second time, Meta down on strikes. And this will bring up Desiree Rios. We're talking about how cold it is, and everything is relative in life. Temperature may be in the high 40s. You think of these poor people up in Minnesota.
Oh.
In Minneapolis.
But they choose to live there.
Oh, well, I'm not so sure, Lance. I think they're frozen solid. You know, they just don't have a choice. They have had a terrible winter. Oh.
Yeah, but you know what? They don't feel bad for us when we're in 100 degrees for 75 straight days either. Well, you choose to live in Texas. That is true.
That's true, yeah. It's been a very rough winter for many people in the northern parts of the country.
In the central parts, too. My son goes to college in Philadelphia. And last year it wasn't too bad. Now he's in a sophomore year and he's going, Dad, this is terrible. Yeah, well,
yeah.
You picked it, partner.
Yeah, well, yeah, they've had a lot of snow. 51 inches of snow in New York City this year. Incredible. Pitch swung and a miss, strike 3. And there were 2 down. So back-to-back strikeouts registered by Peters. And we'll go to the top of the order with Liz Ahrens.
Now batting number 1, pitcher, Liz Irving.
I thought there was quite a bit of controversy in New York City when they had a very heavy snowfall, and the mayor refused to close the schools. People had to go to the schools in what some of them felt was a blizzard.
Yeah.
Pitch inside for a ball. Originally, he said, well, you know, the people have to go to work, and if they have to stay home with their kids, they don't want to lose their jobs and what have you, so that's why I did it. Then he modified what he said and came back with, well, you see, the weather forecasters didn't seem to indicate that it was going to be as bad as it was. Gammas got the play.
Got him.
Wow.
Whoa.
Great throw by Gammas.
Nice recovery by Gammas, too, after juggling the ball. Came back with a good, strong throw to get Ahrens, who gets down those base paths pretty darn well.
Sure did. Boy, this is a heck of a play. That's Gammas picking it up after deflecting it and just did make the throw in time. You can see
a
it.
good call by the first base umpire that time, Richard Black.
And great work by our technical crew picking it up.
There you go.
Yeah, definitely.
Good jobs all the way around.
So here we go. We have a 3-2 ball game as we move to the top of the 6th inning. Bob Barry along with Lance Brown bringing you the game here on ICTN. Next week,
these are 2 people, Bob.
we'll
let me
have
interrupt
soccer.
real
Yeah,
quick.
go right
These
ahead.
are 2 people who were parked next to me in the car when we drove up here, and he said, well, you do these things for your grandkids. And that is the love of that is the love of a grandparent to sit out here in this type of weather.
I guess so.
Right now, Ahrens, the pitcher, is looking for a
She
pelota.
she needs a ball.
She doesn't have one.
The infielders are practicing warm-ups, and she's saying, okay, how about one?
Finally, the umpire is over here saying, hey, there's one. I need another one.
I imagine your son living in Philadelphia, this will probably be the roughest winter he's ever faced.
Oh, yeah.
And it's been a bad one in the Northeast, no doubt about that.
Yeah. I told him when he made the decision to go up there, I said, hey, you're going to have some really nasty winters. Just like I warned my brother when he went to college in Arizona to play football. I said, little brother, it's going to get awful hot down there. Don't worry, it's not humid. Yeah, right. I'm living in L.A. at the time, and I get a call from him as he He says, pick me up. I'm coming in on a bus.
Lady Vikings, number 16.
This
Patty
was about 2 weeks after training camp started. He said, I've quit. I'm done.
Yeah.
I said, what's the matter? He says, it's just too hot. I said, yeah, but it's not humid, is it? He says, you run hills when it's 120 degrees.
Boy, isn't that the truth? Yeah. Zoe Hernandez
No,
leads things
she's
off.
out. She got replaced.
Oh, that's right. I'm sorry. Okay. I stand corrected.
Let me consult my roster here. Number 16.
That's Patty White.
Okay.
And Patty fouls it back for a strike. Oh, and 1 the count on Patty White. Ground ball to the third baseman. Boy, she's just death down there at third base. She really plays the position well.
Both third basemen
Yeah.
have done a good job
Yeah.
tonight. Some good gloves at the hot corner tonight.
Now bag number 15, Shelby Peters.
I've lost your mic now, Bob. I don't know whether you're hearing it in truck or not. Okay, so this is, I'll take over here for a little bit until they get that problem solved. Lindsay Smart, the hitter, 0 for 2 tonight. Swing and a miss. Kind of stepped in the bucket there a bit. The flag in center field almost headed right towards the batter as Lindsay fouled out up and back. Well, actually, that's not Lindsay Smart. That's 17. 15 is the batter. Making some changes on us here. Popped up. Short left field. Coming in to make the play, and there's 2 away. So let's see.
Now bag number 1.
Who's number 15? That's Shelby Peters, is it? Yeah. Shelby Peters with the fly out there. Two out, and that brings Destiny Valdez to the plate. She's 0 for 2, and she takes a good fastball right at the knees. 0-1, we're in the top of the 6th here at Ranchview High School. And the Wolves leading this by a score of 3-2. Popped that foul and out of play. A lot of errors by the Vikings tonight have cost them dearly in this ball game. Called strike in the inside corner, and that's it. Destiny Valdez called out on strikes, and the side is retired. 3 up, 3 down. And we'll be back right after this.
We'll move to the bottom of the 6th inning. The Ranchview Wolves lead it by a count of 3-2. This is our first softball game of the season. Now, next week, we're going to have soccer. It'll be our first soccer game of the season. R.L. Turner comes in, and they'll be playing Irving High School at Irving Public School Stadium. Tori Lawrence starting things off. She shows bunt, takes a pitch in for a strike. First time up, she sacrificed, advancing the pitcher, Aarons, down to second base, and her second time out, she bounced out third to first, so she's 0 for 1.
You know, listening to the public address announcer here kind of reminds me of with the retirement of Derek Jeter after this year will also be the retirement of the late Bob Shepard, who continues to be the person who announces Derek Jeter at the plate at Yankee Stadium.
Isn't that something?
Yeah, they recorded, Shepard's announcement, and Jeter said he always wanted Shepard to do it, the great Yankee announcer who did it for over 50 years.
Pitch just off the corner for a ball.
But Shepard had this very unique, which is redundant, but he had this very easy style. Coming to bat, number 3, Derek Jeter, which of course was actually Babe Ruth.
That's a line shot off the pitcher's glove, picked up by Gammas at short, and she makes the play.
Nice play by Gammas again. So that's 1 to 6 to 3 if you're scoring at home, and I doubt you are.
And it is even if you're not scoring at home.
Yes, it is.
Sarah Hossman will be the batter.
Sarah has grounded out twice to the shortstop and the third baseman. Really runs up on that.
She was voted second-team All-District Defensive Player of the Year for the 2012 and 2013 seasons.
So she's pretty good behind the plate, huh?
One would think so.
And pretty good there with the hat.
Not bad with the bat. She punches it by the third sacker for a base hit.
She's a catcher, and they're going to bring the courtesy runner out, and she's wearing a jacket, so I absolutely have zero idea who she is.
I know who she is on a cold night like this. She's smart wearing that jacket. Mackenzie Gregory, the center fielder, will come up. Mackenzie is 1 for 2 tonight. She had perhaps the most unusual play when she got a base hit into left field, and then the left fielder overran the ball. And Mackenzie circled the bases and scored on what normally would have been a routine single.
And that's the difference in the game.
Pitcher throws to second base just in time. Whoa, close.
Yeah.
So they're 2 down. You watch the replay right here.
This was closer, actually, than I thought it was going to be.
Very close. Peters
she wheeled at the last second. Got her by a step, though. So good play by Peters.
It was. Ashley Benjamin, the batter, and the pitch fouled off. The runner might have been safe if she had slid into second base. She didn't want to overrun the bag.
So she kind of pulled up.
So
at
she
the
slowed
end.
down a little bit. Yeah. Benjamin, the batter, with the runner down at first base and 2 away. 2 outs in the 6th inning. Ground ball to the second baseman. Makes the throw to first. Side is retired. And we'll move to the 7th inning, which may be the final inning in this game. We'll just have to wait and see.
Yep, bottom line is the Vikings got to score 1, or that's all she wrote. And the traditional Viking couch has been brought here. One of the things we used to see at the Nimitz field, they always had these ratty old couches
Yes.
that I guess they got from somebody's front yard that they had put out to be thrown away. And they always brought them to the games there at the ballpark. Now, back in the old days, they didn't have stands there when they first started out. They built up the park slowly there. In 2 weeks, we have got some baseball.
Tigers and Nimitz baseball.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. First game in district for both those clubs. Saw the boys practicing earlier tonight on the far end of the field. Very big complex here at Ranchview High.
Liz Ahrens has pitched a very good game.
She has.
Good-looking pitcher. And she can swing the bat as well. This gal's an athlete.
Oh, yeah.
As usually your pitchers in softball are. Every now and then you'll have a pitcher who's a very good pitcher, but athlete, not really.
But that's rare.
Yeah. So if the Wolves can retire Nimitz here in the top of the 7th inning without giving up a run, this ball game will be over.
And pinch hitter coming up here, number 16.
That would be, well, it shows Patty White here, but Patty's already batted.
18.
It's 18, okay. Katie Mayberry. Katie Mayberry goes after that first pitch and fouls it out of play. Strike one.
Katie has been up 8 times this year, 1 hit.
1-0 the count. Pops it up. The third baseman cannot hold it. Base hit.
Tough play. Nice effort, and she's slow getting, well, she's not getting up. Kirsten Bergin.
Watch the replay here. She dives for the ball. Got her glove on it. Could not hold it. And then down she goes.
It's a cold night. The ground's hard. And everybody's laughing out there now, so apparently she's going to be okay, but does it hurt? Only when I laugh. There you go, Kirsten. Nice effort, girl. Good job. You played a good game tonight.
Going to have a courtesy runner down at first base for Mayberry.
Now up number 2, Natalie Gemmett.
Well, actually, that's just a pinch hitter or pinch runner, different from a courtesy runner.
True. But Mayberry is no longer the
well, actually, they brought
base.
Rodriguez back into the ball game. They brought Rodriguez back into the ball game because she's got the good wheels. You can come back into the ball game one time. So they got the better speed out there. They obviously need her to do something right here.
The batter is Gamis. She's got an 0-1 count. Shows bat.
Fouled it off.
Fouled it off. 0-2.
One would assume she's not going to be bunting here.
Well, this is the girl who leads the team in home runs with 3.
No, that's Julia Rogers.
Oh,
Natalie Gomez has 9 hits and 25 trips up. She pops that one up.
Shortstop waits for it and drops the ball.
They got the fielder's choice, though. Oh, no. A comedy of errors thus far.
So you saw it, and it's hard to describe. The shortstop dropped the ball, picked it up, underhanded it to the second baseman, and she dropped the ball.
We just lost our monitor. It's coming back on, but we assume you're watching the pop-up, the drop, and the throw. There you go. And everybody is going, "Go!" So now the girls having a little conference, and the home plate umpire, James Mann, coming out and saying, "Come on, girls, it's cold. Let's get this going."
Up next, number 3, Sydney.
So now you assume you got one of your best hitters up there. Do you bunt with Sydney Peters?
Sydney Peters up there, tying run down at second base, and she does.
And everybody's going to be safe.
And the bases are loaded. For Peters, her second base hit of the game. On the bunt.
He who hesitates is lost. Second baseman just didn't get over there fast enough, too. Wouldn't have had her. It's a base hit all the way. Base is loaded, nobody out.
Shested is the batter. Ground ball into center field, base hit. We are tied at 3. And everything is going wrong for the Wolves, and everything is going right for the Vikings. Base hit for Shasted, her second of the night. Her second run batted in.
Now bag number 11, Allie Jones.
So we're tied at 3, and Allie Jones is the batter. You watch the replay.
We watch it again. Not hard hit,
No.
but just hard enough to get past the shortstop with a base hit.
Pitch to Jones. Backs her away from the plate. Ball 1.
Boy, this
Line shot center field. The center fielder backs up, makes the grab. Stumbles, but she holds on to the ball.
the go-ahead run comes in on the sacrifice fly.
And moving over to third base, the runner who had been at second. So the Vikings now lead it for the first time by a count of 4-3.
Started innocent enough with a little pop-up that the third baseman ran in, tried to get it, and then an error, and now these 2 hits. And look at that, the slip there, but the run was going to score anyway.
Yeah.
As you see Gomez coming to score. Julia Rogers up.
And stealing second base. That's Shasted down at second base, so you got runners at second and third. Ground ball by the third baseman. In comes 1 run. It's a 5-3 ball game.
Wow.
And Julia Rogers really tattooed that puppy.
Up next, number 16, Patty White.
So you look at this inning, a single, an error, a single, a sacrifice fly, and a single. And it's 5-3.
Boy. Again, it shouldn't have been this way. I'm sure the Ranchview players and fans are saying, but it is.
Zoe, no, let's see now, is this Patty White? Line shot to the third baseman who makes the grab. Now they throws back to first and they
Get the
double the
double
runner
play.
off. Yeah.
The runner was going, and so it's a line drive double play as Patty hit the ball hard, but right at the third baseman, and third baseman again making a good play, good judgment, and that.
Big inning by the Lady Vikings. They scored 3 runs. And they now lead 5-3. First time they've had a lead in the game. And as far as they're concerned, it couldn't come at a better time.
Yeah, I'd say so, yeah. Ranchview actually with 5 runs. And the difference in the ballgame, Bob, is defense tonight.
Or a lack thereof.
Well,
Yeah.
either errors or plays not made. And so now the Vikings in position to be able to get the victory here. So here in the bottom of the 7th, Kirsten Bergine will come to the plate along with Alyssa Ginn and Suman Mehta.
Well, on the top of the 7th inning, we summarized the situation by simply saying that if the Vikings did not score 1 run, this ball game was over. So they scored 3.
Yeah.
Now in the bottom of the 7th, if Ranchview doesn't score 2, the ball game is over. If they score 3, they win. Just that simple. And the most important thing in a situation like that is getting the first runner on base to start the inning. That is so invaluable.
Yep.
And we saw it with Katie Mayberry,
Yeah.
who got that little looping single that the third baseman couldn't hold. So she was on first base, and then the dam just broke. High fly ball center field. The center fielder going back and makes the grab, and there's 1 away. The ball very well hit, but it was high enough that the center fielder had room to scamper over and put it away, and there's 1 away. Alicia Ginn is the batter.
Nice job out there by Rodriguez. She goes back. Big out.
Here is Ginn. Takes that pitch
Called strike at the knees.
in for a strike. Looked like for a second she was thinking about maybe putting down a bunt and then thought better of the situation. Well, she wants to get on base, that's for sure. And bunting for a base hit, fouls it back. One thing, we've had so many things in this ballgame, all kinds of errors, base hits, what have you. We've yet to have a walk. No one has walked.
Love to see that. These girls are up here swinging, too.
Yes, they are.
That
Pitch
one just
inside
missed.
for a ball. I think the count's a ball and 2 strikes, and if she had fouled that off, that would have been a strikeout. Usually you don't see anyone trying to bunt when they have 2 strikes on them. Pitch up high for a ball.
Yep, she pulled that one back. No, it's 3-1.
3-1 the count.
Okay.
That explains why she was trying to bunt. When I thought she had 2 strikes on her, and that's ball 4.
Yeah, there's your first
So
walk.
there's your first walk. And the batter did not realize that was ball 4. She was just standing there. The umpire said, you want to go down to first base, dear? So she does.
Now bag number 13, Suman Mehta.
Suman Mehta, the potential tying run, comes up right now. Sydney Peters with an opportunity to win this game for her team. That one is hit back to Peters. She'll make the play to first in time. Mehta is retired. And moving down to second base is Ginn. Big out as far as the Vikings are concerned.
Yep, they don't care about the runner. She means nothing. This is the one that counts right here. It's all up to
Bag number
Rios.
12, Desiree Rios.
Rios is up. She is the number 9 batter in the order. She's 0 for 2 tonight. She grounded back to the pitcher and then went down swinging. So the situation is, if this girl does not score, the ball game's over.
Just as simple as that.
That first pitch fastball sails up high for a ball.
Ginn has to be careful. Her run means nothing except that she must score to keep the game alive. Getting picked off, however, would be bad.
That foul ball going out of play. 1-1 the count. So a bizarre 7th inning for the Vikings. See them score 3 times.
Yeah.
They had 3 base hits, a sacrifice fly, an error, all contributing to their runs. That's off the corner, ball 2. 2-1 the count. In the 5th inning, the Vikings got 3 hits, turned it into a run. In the 7th inning, they got 3 hits, turned it into 3 runs. 2-1 the count to the batter. 2-2. Now Peters just 1 strike away. But if you follow Texas Ranger baseball, 1 strike away, realize what happened in that 6th game of the World Series against St. Louis.
Yeah.
Just 1 strike away and bam. 2-2 the count. That's what makes the game so great, really.
Mm-hmm.
And the pitch, got her.
That's it.
Ball game over. Rios caught looking, and the Vikings battle back to win it by a count of 5-3. Your final thoughts, Lance?
The defense wasn't very good for either team tonight, and I think we're all glad to get out of here. It's cold. So get us out of here, Bob.
Okay, the Vikings win it, scoring 3 times in the 7th inning. The final score, Nimitz 5 and Ranchview 3. For Lance Brown and all the members of our technical crew, this is Bob Barry. Thank you very much for joining us, and we wish you a most pleasant good night.
Irving Game of the Week has been brought to you in part by Gerald Stavely Dry Cleaning.